Well, there's nothing better than having something tangible to look forward to when we get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, for us, it's that joy of spending time with you so early in the morning, even before your day actually begins.
Yes, now that's the whole idea, to get the day started with you. We love it. And we thank you excessively for always joining us.
They join us every single beautiful morning, and it's another amazing Wednesday morning that we're going to be spending with you. It promises to be a beautiful day.
Yes, we know, because we have all these beautiful ladies here at the show for your viewing pleasure. A happy belated birthday yet again.
Oh,
I think it's your birthday all week, so happy
yes,
birthday
so
today.
it is the week of the Dynamite. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and how are you feeling about your birthday?
So, you know, birthdays, they just come with this energy, positive energy, a lot of prayers, and, you know, I felt refreshed, actually.
Yeah, I totally loved the photo shoot, though. It was like a queen I stand before. Okay, now let's tell them what we're doing for them.
Well, my name is Titilayo Oyinson.
Yes, and I am Tokwe Olowoniyo. Now, a beautiful day lies ahead. You know, you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv. And if you're on Facebook, guess what? We're there as well. Just search TVC Connect, and we will be in your face.
If you haven't got our app yet, just download it for either iOS or Android devices. Just check for TVC Entertainment. And, of course, your comments are welcome on social media. Use TVC Connect, that's our handle, and the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Yes,
now for nutrition this morning, we will be discussing mindful eating with Ekemini Phillips.
She's an integrative nutrition health coach and the co-founder of HELP. That's Healthy Eating Little People.
Nice, I like that, yeah? HELP.
Then we have Ayodeji Adejumo, a stage and film actor, writer, filmmaker, and mental health advocate for men. He is featured on various films, theater productions, and much more.
And then on relationship, we will be joined by Toju Oluwatoyinbo, and she will be talking about how you can unintentionally hurt your spouse. Wow, that's, I want to learn that. Unintentionally hurting.
Yeah. So do you actually know if you're hurting your spouse or not?
If you communicate, I'll know.
Are you sure? Not everybody communicates in the same language.
But I'm not in your head.
And there might just be one more surprise guest. We're trying to confirm if his flight has landed. We will know in a bit, and we'll be telling you very, very soon.
Yeah, but I really want to hear the relationship conversation today.
Yes,
because I feel like a lot of people just want you to be in their head or just assume that you know. How am I supposed to know? Because you know me.
So there are some people that are cryptic. And when I say cryptic, they give you all these signs and, you know, body language. And sometimes you just sort of ignore it. You don't really see it. But then some responses. So, for instance, now, maybe you're at a restaurant with your significant other, and maybe the waitress is very, very pretty. And the waitress keeps coming to the table and starts asking for your order from your guy instead of you, right? So there are some guys that would say, please ask my wife first. But there are also some ladies that might say, please ask my husband first, depending on the mindset they have. The woman might be thinking, oh, respect my man now.
Why can't I just give my order? Why am I?
Wait, no, there's some ladies like that. No, he's the one paying.
He's the one paying.
Let him order first.
I don't understand.
Even if they're paying, my list will be long.
We're there to eat. Which one is?
We need to be quick in getting my food ready.
And then there's some guys that will be like, I'm ordering for her.
Okay.
I know what she wants.
But how does that now affect communication?
Yes. So what I'm saying is, the woman might actually want to order something else, but he says he's ordering for her.
And now,
right? And then she's hurt. She actually is feeling hurt.
Can't you say, Uncle, I'm ordering for myself to each his own?
If she said that, she might be hurting him. There's so many different angles to this.
You know, I'm actually playing, like literally playing that scenario in my head.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
It can't be me.
understand it.
It can't be me. Because first off, the fact that you carry me from my house, I have the food I want to eat in my mind. I would have checked that restaurant online to know their specials. And then if your money is not complete, boy, I will add 5K to support you. But you will not bring me out and now come and dictate what I'm eating again.
That might even hurt the guy more. oh, you feel I can't afford it?
I don't understand.
Insecurity.
Why are we there in the first place?
Insecurity.
Why are we there in the first place?
If we're not eating,
if we're not exactly. I mean, you could have taken me to a cheaper restaurant.
Exactly.
But you took me to an expensive restaurant.
Yeah.
And what you're expecting me was to look at your pocket size.
You know those. So a friend of mine took me to a restaurant yesterday because I was very stressed over last week filming, and then I said, oh, I hadn't gone out. I was in my house Monday and Tuesday, and he's like, oh, let's go have dinner. And this was a very unique experience. And then I don't know why you're looking at me like that, but let me focus on Titi. And then, so I look at the food that I really wanted, and it was really expensive. And then he says, oh, don't worry. So you just pay a deposit, and that you eat anything. So your money covers everything
that you eat.
Let's go.
On that note, let's just check what the weather is looking like today.
It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. In Sokoto State, 24 members of the same family have died of food poisoning in Danzanke village. The state's commissioner for health, Ali Name, said the tragedy occurred after a fertilizer was used as a seasoning in cooking instead of salt. The 2 members of the family who merely tasted the food are being treated in hospital with a very good chance of survival. The commissioner urged the public to learn from this incident and keep away from such poisonous chemicals from easy reach. The People's Democratic Party has resolved to proceed with an early national convention in October as part of efforts to resolve the crisis in the party. The opposition party held an extensive consultation with all major stakeholders, including governors, members of the Board of Trustees, former presiding officers, current principal officers, and leaders from the National Assembly, former governors, former ministers, and other leaders of the party. The chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Aminu Tambuwal, on behalf of other stakeholders, disclosed that the constitution, traditions, and practices of the party should be strictly adhered to in finding solutions to any problems. This decision may reduce the pressure on Uche Secondus to resign his position as chairman and also placate aggrieved members within the party. The All Progressives Congress also has its fair share of troubles as members of the party in Ifedore local government area of Ondo State are appealing to the state leadership to address the crisis arising from the recently conducted ward congress. The members who have filed a suit at the Federal High Court to challenge the conduct of the ward congress said they were left with no option than to seek legal redress. Addressing journalists in Akure, the aggrieved members said they will withdraw the suit in court once their grievances are addressed by the party leadership.
So the best thing they can do is to call us together on a round table and get the issue resolved amicably and ensure that all parties are happy to coming up or writing the names for us to come up with a consensus list. You now say we should keep off. We will not keep off. We will remain the party together. We are not ready to decamp. We are not going to anywhere. What we are saying is that the party should do what.
Now, outside the country, the New York governor, Andrew Cuomo, has announced his resignation following a sexual harassment probe. Mr. Cuomo said he will step aside in 14 days, adding that the impeachment investigation into him is politically motivated. A New York State investigation released last week found Mr. Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women and violated state law. He has repeatedly denied the allegations, but today, or rather yesterday, he has been too familiar with people, he says, and apologized to the women and said he truly offended. The New York Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul will replace Mr. Cuomo and become the state's first female governor.
Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria, and of course it's time for the newspaper review. And on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, PDP, Secondus, tenure shortened by 2 months. Convention holds October. You can find that story on page 2 of the paper. And at the top of the paper here we have Dangote, only Nigerian on Bloomberg's top billionaires list. Akintoye Turaki orders to lead 1 million man march to UN General Assembly and proceed with processes for convention, APC governors tell Buni. Excuse me, also here we have NIN registration now mandatory for WAEC candidates for 2022, says WAEC. Government orders residents to relocate as landslide submerges buildings in Akwa Ibom community. And NDLEA arrests 43 drug dealers, seizes 137.55 kg of cocaine in Ondo, Nasarawa, and Benue states. 4 killed as militias invade Benue community. NAF airstrikes kill 45 terrorist leaders in Zamfara forest, and finally bandits kill over 112 in Kaduna. Plateau in 1 month, says Amnesty International. And that's it on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Here, next up, we have the Guardian newspaper making the headlines here. Excuse me, PDP. Secondus survives, gets reprieve with early convention. And the top of the paper here, cholera afflicts 31,425, kills 816 in 22 states, FCT. And you can find that story on page 3 of the paper. Also here, Nigeria recalls envoy over abuse in Indonesia. And here, over 4 billion naira approved for fueling of police vehicles. And Eyimofe wins Best Feature Narrative of Black Star Film Festival. And finally here, sorry about that, federal government allays fear over assorted vaccines as 176,000 doses of Johnson & Johnson arrives today. And that's it on the newspaper review this morning. Next up is fitness.
All right.
All right.
Is this where we sing our song? Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
So, Chokwe.
Let me serve you.
Oh, please.
I'll take
Do
care
the
of you like you want me.
Where did that come from?
I will serve you breakfast.
Thank you, darling.
This morning,
I hope you're not
baby.
70 today. Her birthday was yesterday.
Wow.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Let me
My
serve
birthday
her.
is this whole week.
Her birthday this week. So
Your birthday was
The week
only
of the
born
dynamite.
many years ago.
in a year.
No.
Once.
Wait, many years ago, people have started coming to the house right now. Mommy Tibimo.
You know what? Yesterday I found out that one of Titi's name is Amokwe.
Yeah.
That's all I'm calling you this
What does
morning.
that mean?
Amokwe.
Like we knew.
To know complete.
I didn't know that.
In, like, if you want to say it literally, to know complete now.
To know complete.
So my great-grandmother...
Look at you, being all wife material.
My grandmother... My great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mother. They were all complete. Like, so in other words, I met my great-grandmother.
Oh,
I was born,
them.
yeah, and she met me.
So they should name me that.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I met my great-grandmother.
Oh, really? Oh, lucky you both.
Yeah. So it says,
wow.
So we were talking about
So we were talking. I didn't
careers.
tell me thank you.
Thank you.
I did. I said thank you, darling.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on.
I even added darling.
Oh, right.
I added like a pet name. Girl.
We were talking about what we wanted to be when we grew up. I think posted something on the group.
Yeah, like, I mean, what profession did you think you were going to be
or do
or going to when you were a kid? Are you currently in that profession at the moment? Yeah.
Well, I wanted to be a newscaster, like news, sharp.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I thought the newscasters were very smart because I thought that they were always reading the news from their head.
Yeah.
But they're actually really smart.
Yeah, no, like I thought they used to read the news from their head. Let me put it that way. I thought they used to read it from their head. So I was always writing news down. And so when I came here and I was teleprompter, I called my granddad. I'm like, do you know that there's actually something called a teleprompter? He's like, are you serious?
Wow.
But then I got the sarcasm. I'm like, wait, you knew? Like, you didn't want to spoil it for me?
That was for the fun for you, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I didn't actually realize, but my dad brought out my secondary school yearbook, my Queen's College yearbook. And apparently in JS3, I wrote down I wanted to be a journalist. I didn't even remember this. It was my dad that brought the yearbook to show me, and I was like, wow, I'm actually doing this now. But in my mind, all I wanted to be was the weather girl. You know the weather girl?
But I think you would have made a great weather girl.
A great weather girl. All I wanted to do was just point, you know,
and just get paid
Abuja,
exaggerate
Akure,
those weather conditions
Lagos,
in different states.
It's raining here,
you know,
it's sunny here.
What if they point somewhere and that was in the States?
Yeah.
When you're watching, did you ever feel that way?
Yeah.
I'll be like, what if this place they're pointing is not Akure? What if it's Oshogbo?
You know, it just felt so cool that all they had to do was tell you whether you should take your umbrella or not. That was like so much power.
You know, it was...
what did you want to do?
I actually wanted to be a TV presenter.
Are you serious?
Regardless of my medical background, I always wanted to be a TV presenter. And I remember when I first joined TVC, one of my friends in my final... As in, we became friends in my final year, and we did our project together. She called and she said, God, I can't believe you're actually living your dream. Like, this is exactly what you really wanted to do. And you are actually doing it. I remember going to one of the TV stations right after we graduated. And she was like, but you don't know anybody there. And I just walked in. I said, I don't need to know anybody. I walked right to the HR office. And I said I wanted to see the HR director, the person in charge. Anybody who is in charge of giving jobs, I just want to see somebody. You get. And I got the job eventually.
Nice.
Yes.
Gang.
Yes. So
my own journey was a little stranger. I don't think I can share this one in total. Let's just say I did a lot of auditions for the weather girl role, and I did not get it.
I don't remember the gist.
I did not get it.
Yeah, you couldn't have.
she got more than the weather girl.
She was very selfish. She didn't want to share.
She was selfish. She didn't want to share.
Okay. Wow. Thanks, guys.
I'm on
Got you.
Sharing is caring.
Who knows? Maybe your friends wanted to be shared.
So really, it was a case of I wouldn't want to share. You know, there are a lot of
the inside stories, though.
Yeah, but the sob stories out there about women who are trying to achieve their goals and then certain men pull them back. There's so many stories like that. And indeed, the reason why I didn't get that job was because a man pulled me back.
But look at you now.
Look at you now. Look at you now. Look at you now. She's on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, and I have to say a big shout out to everyone. All the love yesterday. Oh my goodness.
Wow,
the
Titi,
messages.
you just always find a way to make it about you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But I have to say,
You were not prepared for this. I was prepared for it. Yes,
really?
Today is Titi Day.
You don't understand. Wait,
Fireworks.
That's
the
how
dynamite.
Before. That's how Mazino and Mike started talking about mortality yesterday. On my birthday. I said, I'm not doing this. It's not happening.
What did the Bible say?
I speak life.
I knew it.
I speak life.
Do you remember when we were singing? Low.
No.
No, I can't feel low.
I'm high in Jesus' name.
Anyways, this conversation continues on social media, guys. Are you currently living your dream? Yeah, your dream job. That job that you dreamt that you were going to, be that profession that you're going to go into when you were a kid. Are you living it right now? Let us know on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. We'll be waiting to get those comments.
Stay with us.
Welcome back, people. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Blossom.
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing? All right, so this morning we are going local. She's making rice and vegetable sauce. And guys, let me just let you know now that Blossom intends to possibly choke us here with pepper. This pepper, it's so strong.
Hot.
Is it like a special species?
Yes, it's called farm pepper. This very
Farm
one,
pepper.
Yes.
And guys, it's just little. Anyways, right there on your screen are the ingredients. And so just reel them to us.
Okay, we have our salt. I'm going to go with this. Salt, our seasoning cubes, our chopped onions, our Titus fish, our vegetable oil, then this carrot to garnish. We have our chopped tomatoes. We have also our pumpkin leaf, ugu leaf, popularly known as ugu leaf.
Okay.
Then we have our rice and then pepper, blended pepper.
So why is the pepper blended and the tomatoes isn't?
Practically, I just want to make veggies, like a vegetable sauce.
Okay.
So I don't want it blended.
Okay.
And I want it
crunchy, like you still want to feel that vegetableness in it. Okay, I understand.
sauce. Yes.
I understand. Looks pretty easy. I know people may not agree with me, but let me let you know. I think Titus fish is the best kind of fish.
Yeah.
It's actually very sweet. It's easy to eat. It is something about that. I mean, there's just something about the Titus fish, really. I enjoy Titus fish.
Has this very good oil that comes out of it.
Of it, right?
Yeah.
And it's, oh, I love the head. The head of the fish is my favorite part of the fish. Anyways, let's explain the process for the vegetable sauce, because we are just parboiling the rice, right?
Yes.
Cooking it as white rice.
Yes.
Just in case you don't know how to boil white rice, do you mind telling
I'll teach them, of course.
Please go ahead.
Okay, you just pour in your water. Some persons like to parboil the rice. Parboil, I mean you allow the water boil, then you put in the rice, bring it up for, let's say, 3 minutes. After about 3 minutes, then you wash the rice.
Okay.
Then put in some other water in the pot, allow to boil, then you put your parboiled washed rice in it. Then you just put in a bit of salt and let it cook.
Do you add vegetable oil to your rice?
No, I don't.
Okay. Some of us just like to add vegetable, just a little bit of vegetable oil.
So other persons might just want to boil water in the pot, wash the rice with salt, and then toss it in like that. The reason for the salt is just to remove extra starch from the rice.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And then for our vegetable sauce?
For the sauce, we'll have our pan heated up, then pour in the vegetable oil.
We're using vegetable oil, yeah?
Yes. Then we'll put in our chopped onions. And then the tomatoes will go in. They will allow to fry for a bit. Then we'll pour in the pepper, then the seasoning cube, and lastly, the vegetable.
So are you going to pre-cook the fish before you, or you're just going to cook everything together?
I'm just going to cook it.
Are you mashing it?
No. It's going to be whole like this.
Oh, okay, fantastic. All right, great stuff happening here in the kitchen, guys. This is Chef Blossom, and we are making white rice and vegetable sauce. Still on nutrition, we have Ekemini Phillips on the couch with Titi.
Thank you, MM, and Ekemini has arrived, and on nutrition today we are discussing mindful eating. Ekemini Phillips is an integrative nutrition health coach. She's the co-founder of HELP, an acronym for Healthy Eating Little People. Welcome back to the show. It's been a while.
It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so our general topic for the month is mindful, or rather, is nutrition beyond food.
Yes.
And today we're talking about mindful eating.
Yes.
But then I'm trying to understand what you mean by mindful. So if you have someone that's a mindful eater, does that mean that they could be mindless eaters?
Absolutely.
Talk to us.
So when I say mindful eating, it's like a form of intentional eating.
Okay.
So you're being in tune with your body. Eating should be seen as a form of self-respect to the body. You know, you're communicating with your body. You're being in constant touch with the food. You know, you're knowing the textures, the aromas, the smells, the kind of taste you're deriving from the food, the feelings, the sensations. Okay. So you're being in tune with the food you're eating, as against just eating on the go. You're not paying attention to what the food tastes like. You're not paying attention to the textures. You don't even know who prepared the food. And you don't even know how the food is nourishing your body. But that's mindless eating. And a lot of us, you know, actually practice mindless eating. But we should actually see food as a form of self-respect. I always tell people that whenever you're given a plate of food, view it as an opportunity to nourish your body or to feel a disease. So if you look at it from that angle, then you can actually put all of your emotions and your mind into the food. So you're going to look at, how am I breaking down this food? How is this food going to sustain me? How is this food going to nourish my body? What are the micronutrients and the macronutrients that are inside this food? How am I going to harness the nutrients in this body to heal and to support the growth of my body? So that's mindful eating, putting your mind into the meal.
Okay. Now, it feels like a very deep concept. I know there are probably just a few people watching right now that just think, I'm hungry, I got to eat. Yes. And that's it.
Yes.
So you're saying that this is beyond just the food.
Yes.
This has to do with personality as well and your person?
So nutrition beyond food just goes against the bowl of food in front of you. Maybe the bowl of asaro or yam pottage in front of you. It goes into, how am I going to chew this yam in such a way that the glucose, the sugar content, and everything in this yam is bioabsorbable in my body.
Wow.
You know, so it just goes on about all the biosynthetic, the metabolisms that are involved, the digestion, the assimilation, and also the elimination of the undigested food.
Wait, so these words are getting
beyond the eating.
They're getting, these are big words. Is it not just asaro?
No, it's not just asaro. Your body doesn't know what asaro is. All your body knows is glucose. All your body knows is amino acids. All your body knows is fatty acids, your minerals, and your vitamins. So your body has to be able to break down that asaro, that yam, into the simplest form of nutrients for your cells to be able to uptake and use it for the metabolism.
Okay, so I want to take you back into your introduction earlier. You said your eating could be fueling a disease or nourishing your body.
Yes.
So I want to talk about this fueling a disease aspect. So if a client came into your office, you know, today, and you discovered that this was something they were going through, what advice would you give them?
Okay, so first of all, I would advise that the first things first should be have a plate of nourishing food in front of you. That's the first step, and that's the ingestion. After the ingestion, we are now going to talk about the digestion. And then we know that digestion starts from the mouth, it continues in the stomach, and then it gets completed in the small intestine, and that's also where absorption goes into. So you have to also look at how am I breaking down the food, knowing fully well that digestion starts from the mouth. Your mastication, your chewing, am I breaking down this food into such smaller particles that it's interacting with the saliva that has the enzymes.
Some people don't chew their food. Some people actually swallow rice. They just swallow it.
Yes.
Okay.
And then that comes to the other point I wanted to raise, that we're actually supposed to chew food for 20 to 40 times before we pull it down, before it becomes a bolus of food. So if you have a piece of yam again, asaro in your mouth, you should try as much as possible to chew it until that yam becomes a liquid paste.
Wow.
So we now, in nutrition space, they coined the 40 times chewing thingy so that it helps you to be able to convert that hard piece of yam into a liquid paste that is now ready for you to swallow. The whole idea is that there's some enzymes in your saliva, the amylase, that is going to interact with the carbs in the yam and break it down before you now swallow it into your stomach. Now, what happens in the mouth is mechanical digestion.
Yeah.
What happens in the stomach is a chemical digestion. So if the work of the chemical bit is not done, it's going to put pressure on the stomach. So starting, first of all, to break down the food is going to help anybody that has digestive issues because that bit of the breaking down into smaller particles has already been covered.
Okay. So, if, for instance, I want to start making sure I'm mindful about what I eat.
Yes.
Give me 3 steps I need to take.
First things first, ask yourself, was I hungry?
Okay.
You know, a lot of people eat because they are stressed, because they are going through emotional issues, because they are thirsty.
Okay.
And because they are just tired and they are just looking for what to do. And then the next thing is just to snack around, pick up something and binge on it. But first things, ask yourself, which brings you to that fact that you have to be in personal communication with yourself. Internalize that fact. Am I hungry? Should I go and pick up food? Or is it just taste?
What's the second one?
The second one is chew your food properly.
Okay.
Chew your food properly. And the third one is internalize the food. How do I feel with this food? What are the feelings I'm getting from this food? And pay attention to the food. That will help your body. It actually takes 20 minutes from the start of the food for your brain to get the signals that your stomach is full.
Wow.
So you can imagine
20 minutes.
20 minutes, TT.
Wow.
So you can imagine if you were rushing that meal and you finished maybe at 10 minutes or 5 minutes, that means you would have gotten full before your brain got that signal. So that comes to overeating and then weight gain and then issues with digestion.
Ekemini, there is not enough time for us to get this topic broken down completely, but we know that we've started something very interesting. Please hit us up on social media. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and Ekemini will be answering your questions. We'll be continuing with our series, Nutrition Beyond Food, next week with Ekemini. But we have to take a quick break now and be back with more.
Now, from that clip, we are joined by Ayodeji Adejumo, a stage and film actor, writer, filmmaker, and a mental health advocate for men. He has featured in various films and theater productions. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me too.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm relaxed. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, let's just delve into our conversation. Doing my research about you, I did see how your work has journeyed through a number of festivals, and now you've adapted it to a film. Yeah. Let's talk about what even inspired this story, because, you know, there's a lot of talk on mental health, but not so many people talk about men's mental health because of the expectation of a man to be strong and not to be emotional. Yes, man up. Now, man you be now. Yeah. So let's talk about the story behind the story. Okay, so the story behind the story is
I have friends who go through a lot of things. Okay. And I also realized that they don't like to talk about it because, of course, the society just keep ringing in their saying it to their face or in their head that they're man up and all that. So and also I also realized that we don't get to talk more about men, going through a lot. We don't get to talk about more men going through a lot, and I just want to do something very unique. That's it. So it wasn't, that's like the story about this, behind the story. Yeah.
Tell us about the whole stage experience and what made you want to adapt it to a film.
Okay, I want the story to go further than just being a stage. So, and of course, film is where you can easily, you have online TVs that get films to show,
reach a wider audience.
To reach wider audience. So yeah, that's the reason why I actually made it into a film. And because of the specific message, suicide prevention, that it talks about.
Now, beyond your friends, was there any personal experience or any time in your life that you felt very low? I mean, considering the nature of our business, there are times where the work is coming back to back, and then there are low times. Now, how did any of your low times influence this story?
Okay, from the writing.
Yes.
From the writing, because when I wrote the film, the script, I was depressed. So I was depressed. I was going through a lot, and that's when a friend of mine that watched it, was like, this film is very deep. Like, the dialogues are so deep and all that. And I was like, I don't know. I just have to pour out
how
my mind
feeling,
and everything how I was feeling. So it's a bit personal to me, not the story, but the dialogues in the story. Yeah. So. Okay,
that means we should definitely get to see it. So when is it out? Is it out? When is it out?
No, it's not out. But we are doing like a premiere.
Okay.
And also we are creating a conversation around it after the premiere. So we are doing the premiere on Sunday, Sunday 15th.
Okay. Where is it going to be?
At Magnificent Cinema.
Okay.
But it's going to be like an exclusive screening, so you have to be invited. Before you can come. So
for the benefits of us that were not invited, let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it, and so we can have a feel of the story. That's deep, and that's important because I wouldn't say Nigerians, but people find it hard to even go for therapy because they just feel like, why am I going to spend my money on somebody talking to me? I can talk to myself.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're able to get that they're coming from therapy.
Yes.
It's not only about, just talk, cry, and all that. That sometimes that you need a professional to talk to.
Yes, to talk to you.
You need help to be able to adjust back into your normal self. So that's what is also another message that people need to take from this film, that you need help. Yeah, it's there's nothing wrong in you asking for help. It doesn't make you less of a man. Yeah. So yeah.
Before I let you go, I must let the audience know that you are Baba Salah's son. I want to know about, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but 1,000,001 now.
Okay.
Now, what are the pressures that you feel, or the pressures that come to you when you know that there's an expectation, most especially when you're recognized by someone like, oh, yeah, Baba Salah's son. How does that put you? Where does that put you in your mental space?
The mental space is always disturbing because anytime I go for an audition, once I mention my surname and they get to know that, oh, you're Baba Salah's son. Okay, that's like, okay, so crack a joke. This I'm like, no, I'm not a comedian.
I'm not my dad.
I'm just me. Just give me one role that will challenge me and everything.
Exactly.
So the pressure is always high because they expect a lot of like performance. They expect you to just kill it. And once you have that in your head, you are already disturbed. So
I know.
the pressure is there.
All right, then thank you so much for coming. We wish you all the best. And we do hope that the message behind your film and story gets to everybody. Oh, well, there you have it on our conversation with our guests. But there's something steamy in the kitchen. Our nostrils are burning. What's going on?
The on is on. All right, welcome to the kitchen, guys. This is Chef Blossom, and this morning she is making white rice and vegetable sauce. Hey, hey. Hi. I see that you're literally cooking up a storm in here. Yeah. All right, so let's run through the ingredients for our vegetable sauce and then tell us what we add.
Okay, we're having our vegetable oil, then our chopped onions, our seasoning cubes, a bit of salt, then our chopped tomatoes, our chopped pumpkin leaf, and then our blended pepper.
Okay, I see that with the pepper you also added garlic. Is that garlic I see there?
Ginger.
Oh, ginger.
Yeah.
I see chunks of garlic. So
ginger.
And then we have our carrots.
Yeah, the carrots is to garnish.
Oh, for the rice.
For the rice.
Okay. So can you please open the pot lids? Let's see the rice. That's the rice they're cooking right now. And like I said earlier, guys, lots of literally cooking up a storm here. And we have our fish already fried.
Yes, you might want to leave it fresh.
Okay.
You might decide not to fry it for the sauce.
Okay.
You might want to match, just anything that works for you is fine.
Okay, so when do we begin our vegetable sauce?
So we're taking up the fish now.
Fish now, okay.
So we'll start with our sauce right away with the same oil.
With the same oil,
yes.
Okay, because, I mean, all of those nutrients and all of the flavor from the fish, they retain in the oil, so you want to keep it. Okay, fantastic. Great. All right. So for the benefit of those who, are just joining us, guys, we are making rice and vegetable sauce. At the moment, we have Blossom who's taking out the fried fish from the pan, and we're about to make our sauce. Do you want to explain the process for the sauce?
Yes, I'll just toss in my onions
into
the oil. Then I'll allow it to fry for like 5 minutes.
Allow that onion caramelize.
Yeah.
On your screen right there are the ingredients, guys. Just in case, you could grab a pen and a paper and, take them down. Okay.
It's really a simple sauce.
A simple recipe, actually.
Very simple.
Once the onions are fried, what's going in?
I'll toss in my tomatoes.
Okay.
Then after that, I'll put in my pepper.
Okay.
Then I'll season with the seasoning cubes. And lastly, I'll put in my pumpkin leaf.
Okay. Then, what other options do we have for our pumpkin leaves? Do we have?
Can you use spinach?
Oh, spinach.
You can use your parsley. You can use
parsley.
Yes, you can use your parsley. Just a bit of it.
Just okay. And then we could also use uzuza leaf.
No, not. I don't know.
Uzuza leaf? Oh, you can't use uzuza leaf?
No, you can't use uzuza leaf.
Oh, okay. Anyways, there are so many options that you have. There's the green vegetables. There's the green vegetables. I personally love green vegetables.
It's very healthy.
And then there's a certain kind of flavor that it has. And let's not forget that when you are cooking with vegetable, do not leave it for long
and cook on high heat.
Yeah, do not cook it on high heat. Try to reduce the heat because you want to make sure all of those nutrients are still well retained in your veggies. I see right now that you're tossing in the
tomatoes.
Tomatoes, okay. Yeah. So we're just going to wait for that to, cook a bit.
Yes.
And then all of the other ingredients go in. We have to go on a quick break now, people. Stay with us.
Now let's do this again, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Brand new hour is here, and that's our cue to get the ball rolling one more time.
Yes, our whole 45 minutes to go still, and do not worry, we have you covered, and so does in the kitchen.
So there's something cooking.
Yeah.
Something
steamy, something hot. And I'm still gonna do it. It's still Titi the Dynamite's birthday.
Oh, yeah, show me that dance now. What that dance you wanted to show me?
Hey, look at you. Is that the new age?
I'm trying to remain as youthful as possible, and you're very helpful in that regard.
I'm so glad.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All the goody, fruity milkshake, all the cherry on top of whatever we're serving today. Yeah. Is you, actually. You are the cherry on the top of our cake.
Yes. Now, this beautiful Wednesday morning where the ladies wake up Nigeria by showcasing the wonder. That's why we call it
Wonder Woman Wednesday. Welcome. Now, if you're just tuning in, strap in your seatbelt. Come along for this ride. My name is Titilayo Uyinson.
And I am Tokwe Olowoniyo. Now, remember, you can stream this show live at tvcentertainment.tv and also on Facebook. Go to your search column, type TVC Connect, and we will be in your faces.
Android, iOS, whichever one you are using, you can have our app. And you can watch us from anywhere in the world.
Yes. Now, MM and Chef Blossom, tell us what's happening in the kitchen.
Well, I know you mentioned earlier on, Titi, that the cherry on top are our audience.
Yeah.
Well, the cherry on top is what's happening here in the kitchen. Because, I mean, if you are here, I'm sure Titi Tokwe and all the cameramen can testify. So the aroma,
it's sizzling.
the delicious aroma oozing from the pot.
You know that thing in the morning when your mother's cooking wakes you up.
Yes, sir.
That is what Chef Blossom is giving us. But before we make your stomach to start tottering, let's progress. There is no Wake Up Nigeria without a music performance. And of course, we are going to be joined by Robert Safil.
And on our relationship segment this morning, we'll be joined by Toju Oluwatoyibo. Now, she is going to be talking about how you can unintentionally hurt your spouse. Do you know if you're actually hurting your significant other or not? She's a vlogger, relationship mentor, passionate about building successful homes.
So I forgot to invite you guys for my stage play this weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should come watch.
Okay, what's the title?
Forgot.
Sisi Pelebe.
Sisi Pelebe.
Yeah.
That's the name.
So why are you inviting us now?
I did not. I forgot to invite you live. I've invited you in private.
You have?
Yes, I have.
When?
Last week in my car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Would you apologize for the fire that was coming?
I apologize.
Now, wow, becoming that. That's this what we're talking about in relationship segments.
You see how are you
annoy your partner?
Hurting you.
Yeah, but you know I'm very expressive.
Your expression swell gone.
All right, tell us a bit about the play.
Yeah, so it's about this lady who discovered herself pretty early, and it's a very sensitive topic that we kind of like shy away from.
Discovered herself. When you say discovered.
That's why you need to come and watch it, because I played the character of the girl who discovered herself. So she wanted to come watch what I discovered. That's the play we took to Germany. Yeah. So we're doing like a homecoming edition.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Sounds like an interesting story.
Yes.
Honestly. Yeah, and I like the direction the movie industry is going in regards to showcasing spotlighting actually some of the societal issues, not just issues. You know,
conversations.
Some of these conversations, some of these issues, even personal issues that people are having and they're not talking about it. Yeah. So bringing it to the front line, you know, helps people in even dealing with those issues.
And the good thing is, at the end of the play, you now have people like last week, people asking questions. So what do you think? Also, I feel this. It was so nice. And that's the beauty about stage from film, because film, after the film, you just go. Yeah. But you get to talk to the actors, you get to talk to the director, like, so what made you do this? And okay, so what were you thinking? And then I'm feeling this way about the story. What do you? So you get to share your knowledge, and then just more knowledge is shared on that particular topic.
I really hope people start to tell their stories more. You know, I think I'm actually very guilty of this myself. I haven't told my full story. My story is plenty, but
I'm shooting. Stories. Are you sure you don't share?
I don't. Trust me, I don't.
No, Tissy actually does share
on screen. Where it could help
not
people.
on screen.
Yeah,
not on screen. Oh, okay,
so,
on screen, okay.
You know, one of the worst things, you know, that could happen to someone is for them to leave this world without having said something to help someone else. You know?
Because you just never know.
One of the biggest resources is actually, not to be morbid, is in the cemetery. There's so many powerful, teachers, people that could have mentored people, ideas that just died with people.
Yeah.
So those stories are key. If you have a story and you have, the opportunity to maybe put it into a stage play, or even if it's a skit, something online, just do it.
Or some content that you, I mean, this day we had so many online contents that people are very creative. People are thinking out of the box. It's amazing to see. Just go online, just talk.
As in
people will listen.
You get, and it mustn't be you mustn't feel held back because you feel like, oh, I've not found a creative way to do it. You see that uncreative way?
Yeah.
Just do it.
You know, when you say it that way, God, I'm even guilty. Me that I'm talking about.
You are very guilty.
Yeah, I am.
I read something on the internet that I have been practicing. They said, if you can do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And then if you can do it for 90 days, it can become a lifestyle. So I am on my 15th day of doing something.
Wow.
And by the 21th day, I'm going to buy myself a gift.
Day.
The 21st day.
Wow.
21th.
No. I'm not on about that.
A gift. You want
Is that rain out here? Is that rain?
It's not my life.
Is it sunny? Is it rainy? Let's find out, people.
Let's find out.
It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyinson. In Sokoto State, 24 members of the same family have died of food poisoning in Danzanke village. The state's Commissioner for Health, Ali Nane, says the tragedy occurred after a fertilizer was used as a seasoning in cooking instead of salt. The two members of the family who merely tasted the food were being treated in hospital with a very good chance of survival. The commissioner urged the public to learn from this incident and keep away from such poisonous chemicals easy from reach. The People's Democratic Party has resolved to proceed with an early national convention in October as part of efforts to resolve the crisis in the party. The opposition party held an extensive consultation with all major stakeholders, including governors, members of Board of Trustees, former presiding officers, current principal officers, and leaders of the party. The chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Aminu Tambuwal, on behalf of other stakeholders, disclosed that the constitution, traditions, practices of the party should be strictly adhered to in finding solutions to any problems. The decision may reduce the pressure on Uche Secondus to resign his position as chairman and also placate aggrieved members within the party. The All Progressives Congress also has its fair share of troubles as members of the party at Ifedore local government area of Ondo State are appealing to the state leadership to address the crisis arising from the recently conducted ward congresses. The members who have filed a suit at the Federal High Court to challenge the conduct of ward congress said they were left with no option than to seek legal redress. Addressing journalists in Akure, the aggrieved members said they withdraw, or rather will withdraw, the suit in court once their grievances are addressed by the party leadership. Outside the country now, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has announced his resignation following a sexual harassment probe. Mr. Cuomo said he will step aside in 14 days, adding that impeachment investigation into him is politically motivated.
That is definitely a feel-good way to kickstart your Wednesday. Thank you so much, Orobosa. That was really amazing. And now moving on to relationship, we are joined by Toju Oluwatoyinbo, and she will be talking to us today about how you can unintentionally hurt your spouse. Now, she's a vlogger and a relationship mentor, passionate about building a successful home. Good morning, Toju.
Hi, Tope. Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
This topic, before you came on, we were talking about it, and how I'm wondering, how can you unintentionally hurt your spouse? Like, first off, I feel like it's very important that you communicate.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in your head to know what is annoying you. But let's talk about it. How do you unintentionally hurt your spouse?
I mean, it's really simple because you're not the same people.
Yes.
Your personalities are different. And so it's not like you wake up in the morning saying today at 8 a.m. I'm going to do this to hurt you. But because you're different how you say something might affect me another way. Yes, so you've hurt me. So even though we talk about it and you apologize, it doesn't change the fact that you've hurt me. And sometimes because it might be a habit for the other person or it's something they have to learn, it might happen again. Yeah, so that's how it can happen.
Yeah, that's how. So now, in cases where you hurt your partner unintentionally, how do you communicate that? No, or how do you advise the partner who is hurt to communicate that to the other person?
Well, I often like to say you need to communicate in the way that the person understands. So not the way you are hurt. The person who's hurt understands, but the person who has hurt you understands. So if, for example, general example, you're the emotional woman and you want to talk to a man who's logical. If you go there crying, you're going to lose the man. If you go there saying, I feel, you're going to lose the man at some point. But if you can do a bit of both, explaining, because the man wants to know, okay, what did I do? How did I do it? What should I have done? But if you just go saying, I just feel bad, you just always talk to me anyhow, like, this is the way I talk to my colleagues at work. So why is it different for you? I'm not your colleague now. So you now explain to him, because sometimes, especially for a man, he might not understand what the difference is. So you need to understand, okay, I'm your wife, I'm special, you need to pedal down with me. I feel embarrassed when you speak about me in public like this. You need to actually break it down. So what's obvious to you might not be obvious to them. Yeah. And it might take a while because some of these things take time, unfortunately. Yeah.
But speaking about this communicating how you feel, now you say someone could be logical and the other person is emotional. Where does responsibility to your partner coming in the place where, like, I'm emotional and you're logical, but because something is paining me, how am I supposed to be logical at that moment?
At that moment. Yeah. So, yes, it also boils down to the fact that you also, the other party, has to grow in emotional intelligence. The other part, because you're married to serve that person. So you need to learn how to serve the person. Because you're fine doesn't mean the other person is fine. So you need to start having more conversations. How do you want to be spoken to? What can I do to make you feel better? Would you want me to do X? Would you want me to do Y? You just need to... And you need to be consistent with it as much as possible. Because if your spouse feels like I'm stressed for you, you're making me feel tired or you're draining me, then, yeah, that's not a good feeling. So you need to actually want to do it. Yeah.
That draining is such an important and sensitive part. I did have a conversation with a friend, and we're talking about how her and her spouse, had an argument. And he apologized. But she said sorry was not enough. And I'm wondering, so like, okay, but he said sorry.
Sorry, yeah. This is a very popular one.
How do you progress from that? Because now you said, oh, you should communicate.
Yeah.
And she communicated how she felt, and he just said, she's like, wait, he just said sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
So this is obviously a woman. Yes. Right? So for guys, and I'm sure I've said this here before, for guys, when they've offended each other, and they go and watch a soccer match together, hey, alpha, they've said sorry, and they're good. So for a woman, you said sorry, and you might mean it, but she needs to go through that process because it was a process for her to get her in the first place. So you need to hold her hands, pamper her, explain why you did what you did, take responsibility for the fact that you did this, acknowledge that you did this. Because sometimes the guys never actually say, oh, I actually did this, so I shouldn't have done it, though. They're, sorry, I know, try. And you just gloss over it. I'm like, my feelings are too big for you to just gloss over. So I think women generally want that process step by step, hold my hand, pamper me, rub my back, take me out. And this can even be for like a day or two, depending on the woman and her level of maturity.
Your sorry is quite a lengthy sorry. But don't you think that at some point, the other person can feel like it takes too much to tell you sorry?
Yes. So I'm not saying stay there. But if it starts off like that, it's not a bad thing to do while you're growing in the relationship, in trust and in bonding. Yeah. But it's not a bad thing to do.
Okay, so in a case where your partner is, you know that this is how your partner speaks and your partner says things that offends you and gets you hurt, and you know that you've talked about it and nothing has happened, what do you now do? Do you just constantly live in hurt?
That's a tricky one. So this is where I normally say third parties. Someone the person might listen to. I might not be a person. It might be a session like this. It might be someone they like. It might be a movie. It might be one of these funny Facebook stories or videos or something that you just slide in. Because sometimes when I'm the one telling my spouse, it might sound like nagging, but when they hear it from a third party, it might sound like a revelation. So, yeah.
And then how does that make you feel as a partner in the sense that you're not listening to me, but somebody comes and says the exact same thing.
Yeah, it can pain. Nah. It can really pain, but as long as they're getting the message, that's what we want.
Yeah.
As long as they're getting the message, it doesn't matter if it's coming from you or coming from a third party. Just take what you get at that time, and let's see what happens over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, let's talk about, and from someone who is not emotionally driven, someone who is objective, someone who just who says that your feelings, you feel too much. How do you?
This is why all these things. Why are you married to this person if you constantly feel like you can't get through to them? So I feel some of these conversations and observations really should be made before you get married, because at the time when you get married, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And if it's not changing, at some point it might become a cross you just have to carry.
Okay.
Right? If you've tried third parties, you've tried speaking to the person, it's left for you to pray and wait it out. It becomes your cross to carry. But even in that, you need to find ways to strengthen the strengths of the marriage and focus on that, because if you focus on the things that are not working, a lot of other things will stop working as well. Yeah.
Oh, very insightful. Thank you so much, Toju. I am sure that people have learned how to manage partners beyond dealing with unintentional hurt. I think I've learned a thing or two. I shall implement that in life. Thank you so much. Well, we are going on a break. We still have something very interesting for you in this short stint of time. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's time for us to meet a special guest. Now, by now, you know we have some really good friends in Lush Hair. Now, this particular company has done a lot with us at TVC, and we thought it was important for us to hear a little bit more from the head of customer care at Lush Hair. We have Mercy Babalola with us this morning. Welcome.
Hi, and happy belated birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi.
So wait, my carton of Lush Hair is somewhere waiting for my birthday.
It's somewhere. Whenever you need it, just tell me.
We have waiting for you. I had to plug that one there. But it's great to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. So there's so much happening with Lush Hair, but for those that are just hearing about Lush Hair, you need to talk to us about what the Lush Hair brand stands for.
Okay, so Lush Hair stands for empowering women. Okay. We want to make women feel confident. We want to make women feel beautiful. We already know women are beautiful, no doubt there, but we want women to always feel like they can take over the world and conquer the world whenever they are wearing our extensions. And we want people to also know that Lush is not only for women. It's also for men, it's for kids, whoever you are, from different backgrounds, ethnicities. Lush Hair is for everybody. There is a Lush for everybody, and that's what we stand for. And apart from the fact that our extensions are premium, the premium quality of our extensions, we also, one of our distinct feature and like what makes us distinct and what makes us people's go-to choice is that it is extra lightweight. Whenever we are wearing our hair, honestly, you won't even feel like you're wearing anything. Like I'm wearing one now. Okay. And I had it installed in less than 30 minutes. Wow. And it was just like quick, and like I don't even feel like I'm even wearing anything.
Which is how things are evolving these days with women.
People don't want to feel like they're carrying like a mountain on their head. People don't want to feel like they have to, just... Oh, it's like a heavy load or something. And
I can see why you're the head of customer care. You really want the customers to feel comfortable. But things have evolved with regards to hairstyles over the years, especially for the African woman. Can you talk to us about how your brand has evolved with it?
Yes, so, from when we were young, we had these hairstyles from our mothers where they had komole, shuku, jerry curls. There had been like an hair evolution in that phase. And like we've seen that from that hair evolution, there has been an introduction of colors. When we're young, it has been like just black, brown, just neutral, limited colors. But now we've seen evolution of colors and Lush Hair is giving so much diverse colors like orange, pink, wine, however you'd like to express yourself in, Lush Hair has you covered. Whatever hair color you need, whatever hair color you're looking for on this face of the earth, we have it.
Okay, so there is this challenge though. The challenge of the workplace woman, the working woman. So I love colored hair, but I find myself walking into some places, some offices, and then you're the one standing out like, oh, but I'm good with that. I love to be seen, but the average one might not like that.
Yeah. You know, change is gradual. We know change is gradual, and I know for a fact that change is constant. And, you know, there has been an improvement, like, for example, in creative workspaces where people are allowed to express themselves with their hair, with the way they dress, however way. And there are also some rigid rules that, you know, don't allow that. We know for a fact that with time, it will evolve. We know it will evolve with time. And we can't wait for when it will evolve, because people need to feel like they are themselves whenever they are at the workspace, because it encourages growth. And when you're just yourself, you just become more creative at what you do, and it brings out the best in you, honestly.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of the best, we know that as a brand, you've been working on many different projects. And I think one of the best moves you guys did was jump on board the Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria pageant. All right, so talk to us about that.
Okay, so we are so excited, honestly, to be the official hair sponsors of the 33rd edition of the Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria. It's happening on September 17th. I'll get you an invite.
Oh, I'll be wearing lush hair.
Yeah, exactly. So we want this year to be different. We've been a part of it in the past, but we want this year to be so different. We want a situation whereby women can feel beautiful, women can express themselves, women can be themselves when they are wearing an extension. So they can wear colored hair while they are on the runway. And another good thing we are doing this year with MBGN is that we are going to be involved in their training camps. So one of our Lush Hair ambassadors, Derele, is going to be there to, you know, teach them red carpet etiquette and teach them how to be themselves, how to be confident in who they are, and how to just express themselves freely. And we cannot wait for everything we have in store for people to watch out for this year.
So, you know, there was something that happened when we started, you know, talking with Lush some months ago. You started an academy.
Oh my God.
For hairstylists.
Yes.
So this academy, I can still remember so many great people just applied online to be a part of the academy to learn how to properly braid hair.
Exactly.
But I hear they've graduated, right?
Yes, they've graduated. And like the graduation happened July 30th.
Okay.
And it was honestly an awesome experience. We gave aspiring and experienced hairstylists that wanted to master the craft of hairstyling. You know, whether it's bridal, whether it's, you know, just hair training on a general basis. We gave them the tool to use to master that craft. And it was honestly an overwhelming experience. They really was also present to, you know, teach the guests and like just have a good time. It was a good time. We also gave the best graduating students like limited products of Lush hair extensions that have not even been released yet.
Wow.
Yeah, so and like we have a new set coming in. We have.
So what do the new sets stand to gain by the time they graduate?
Well, the new sets that are coming in, registration is not yet, has not been announced yet. They stand to gain a hair tutorial from one of the best in the game, and from our in-house hairstylist as well. Interested participants have to stay tuned to our social media platforms to make sure, you know, they stay updated.
All right.
The entries, we've not yet started putting out entries, you know, call for, you know, entries.
Hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, it hasn't come out yet.
All right, but people should stand by for that. And I have a feeling many will be.
Many.
But I have to ask for the handles. Sorry, the cooking is getting to me right now.
Oh my God, it smells amazing, by the way.
The handles that they need to check, the exact hair handle.
They need to check. You need to follow us on all social media platforms at Lush Hair Nigeria. We are available at Lush Hair Nigeria. You can also contact our customer care number on 0700 5874 4247. We are available to pick your calls any time of the day.
As a proper customer, you take those calls. I'm wondering, what's the funniest phone call you received?
Oh my God.
Funniest phone call.
I've had this call from a woman that was just, I think she was just really complimenting the hair, and she was like, oh my God, God bless you guys. The hair is so lightweight. It retains the shine from when I made it till I took it out. Like, honestly, I've received so many calls.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm really glad. And at this point, it's time for us to go taste that food that has been torturing everybody here in the kitchen. All right, would you like to join us?
Yes, for sure.
Please. Yes, go ahead.
Oh my God.
All right, me two times.
Song in my head. Please take a sip.
3 times.
I mean, we are about to literally tutorial you. Like, no jokes. Welcome to the kitchen. And we can't wait for you to also have a taste of our meal this morning. This is Chef
It looks
Blossom.
amazing.
I know.
You guys look good, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God.
Thank you so much. And this is Chef Blossom. And this morning she's made for you rice and veggie sauce. All right. So without further ado,
oh my God.
Go ahead.
This is the dory.
Enjoy.
I like that you guys use spoon actually, and not fork.
Well, if you need a fork, we'll give you a fork.
Oh my God. That was a nice advert shot.
I know, right?
Oh my God, so good. So good. I'm not even like trying to lie or anything. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. I love it.
You're so expressive.
Come for your cookouts, like one of your cookouts. I'm available.
That's an idea, Blossom. That's an idea.
I'm available to taste.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Blossom. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Blossom. Always killing it. Well, that's another Wonder Woman Wednesday, and the birthday girl
is
in
still
the
on the
sofa.
Yeah.
Hello.
Who run the world?
Girl.
Yeah. I was hoping you wouldn't say that, but yeah. Anyways, have an amazing day, people.
Yeah, and we are back here tomorrow, same time.
Bye-bye.